Mr. Peter Obi has come out to say that Nigerians should stop tying the Fulani race to terrorism, meaning we should stop calling out the Fulanis over the terrorism ravaging Nigeria, that it is not all Fulanis that are criminals. Now, see what this headline says. It says, I have suffered stereotype as an able man, and I understand your pain, Peter Obi tells Fulanis. So Peter Obi wrote a Twitter post where he's telling Nigerians to stop calling the entire Fulani race as terrorists, that it is just a few hands that are causing the terrorism we are seeing in Nigeria. Now, see what this headline here says. This is the tweet coming from Mr. Peter Obi, and it says, media framing of crime along ethnic lines divisive. As an Igbo man, I've endured stereotype, judgments, and labeling solely based on my ethnic origins. This is not an isolated Igbo experience. Most Nigerians have, at some point, been reduced to their ethnicity rather than recognized for their true character. I understand the pain of ordinary Fulani man today, often unfairly judged by the action of criminals he does not support, he never met, and who are not representative of his people. Even in America, such unjust labeling fueled the civil rights movement and prompted Martin Luther King Jr. to declare that people should be judged by the contents of their character, not the color of their skin. Every Nigerian ethnic group is known for its unique traditions, occupations, skills, and strength. Crime, however, has no ethnicity. A thief is a thief. A terrorist is a terrorist. A kidnapper is a kidnapper. They are bad actors, not representative of any people. They must be identified, arrested, and punished according to the law. We must decisively abandon the dangerous practice of blaming entire ethnic groups for the action of a few criminals. It is unjust, it breeds hatred, and damages our national unity. Let's proudly celebrate our diverse culture, talents, and contributions, rather than falling prey to stereotypes and prejudices that politicians and divisive interests exploit for their gain. A new Nigeria must emerge, one where no citizen is condemned because of his tribe, religion, or birthplace. We can cherish our cultural roots while standing united by justice, mutual respect, and honor for a better future. We are capable of this. He went ahead to say that a new Nigeria is within our reach, Peter Obi. So many Nigerians have applauded him, while many do not even believe that. Many people believe that the Fulanis should actually be called out, because many at times we've been told that the APC under Buhari's campaign period brought in the Fulanis to be used as machineries for election. Abandon them, guys. You can remember this headline here where this headline trended. You can see this headline say, we brought in Fulanis from Mali after election. They refused to go back. APC chieftain Abubakar Kawu Baraji was the one that said this, that they actually brought in. And now this video of Fulanis, equipped with powerful gun and cartridges all hung all over them is trending. Guys, you can imagine these people invading a country. Guys, we don't know where this video was made, whether in Nigeria or Chad or anywhere, but you can see that these people are so equipped. They refuse to go to school, and they've taken up criminality as a means of livelihood. Guys, this is what we are seeing in the country, and Nigerians are saying that APC has actually confirmed that they were the ones that brought in terrorists. I'm going to allow you to take a look at what Mr. Dele-Farotimi has said about it. He said this: I remember the narrative offered by Kawu Baraji, former National Secretary to the APC. This is reported in Business Day, 2nd of August 2022. Baraji was speaking at the occasion of his 70th birthday, and he said that they imported Fulanis from Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, and Chad. Reported by Republican News, guys. Mr. Dele-Farotimi is reminding Mr. Peter Obi that Fulanis were actually imported into the country here, so they are the ones causing the criminality, guys. We have seen that the Fulanis on video, we have seen them doing all sorts of things, but the problem is that nobody is condemning them. The Northerners are not condemning them. We want to see the Northern leaders come out to distance themselves from these Fulanis. Instead, we have seen many of them asking for amnesty for Fulanis who are mostly not Nigerians, guys. This is what we are seeing. So some people agree with Mr. Peter Obi, while some say no, for the fact that the Northerners are not even coming out to condemn, especially the Northern leaders. None of them is speaking up. Look at all the killings going on in the Middle Belt. Everybody is silent. Anyway, let me know what you think about this in the comment section. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell notification for more. Thank you.
From Senegal, from Niger, and from Chad. He was very specific. He did not mention any other ethnic nationality. He spoke specifically of the Fulani. He said they imported Fulanis from Sierra Leone, Mali, Senegal, Niger, and Chad. I'm not sure if we had influxes from Equatorial Guinea or if the ones in other parts were equally invited, but it was specific. And in 2015, a rabid Fulani redentist and a Muslim fanatic was elected president of Nigeria. Baraje was very, very clear in also saying that the people they invited, they also harmed. Let me repeat myself. Go to the Business Day newspaper of August 2, 2022. I am quoting Kawu Baraje. He was part of the foundation of the APC. He was the factional chairman of the breakaway PDP that was part of the foundation of the APC. There are recorded confessions on TikTok, on YouTube, almost every social media platform. You'll find Fulani people telling you. There's one particular one I watched myself where the guy was like, look, AK-47, that they don't use it to shepherd their cows. That these were given to them. He was specific in saying that. He's on record. A friend shared the story with me, and I think he also posted these on social media. Is she rather, a farmer. And she recounted how she was farming somewhere in Oyo State, somewhere around Afijio. I went to school in Fiditi, which incidentally is my mother's village, for those idiots who are saying my mother is Igbo of this. Anyways, in Afijio, if you know Fiditi and its axis, you know that that is on the road to Oyo, after it's between Oyo and Ibadan. So that's deep in the heartlands of Yoruba land. And this woman says that immediately after the harvest season, the Fulanis would come. These are Fulanis who have lived in the community for decades. They will come, graze their cattle. In grazing their cattle, the droppings from the cattle would help to fertilize the field, the hooves will break the soil, and it was a mutually beneficial relationship. And these Fulanis would help, and they would give them fura and wara, and people had a mutually beneficial relationship. And when the cows grazed on people's farm, there was also a key, easy way of fixing the problems. They would pay reparations. They had peaceful coexistence. And then this woman told me that after a point, the Fulani came, the leader of the local Fulani who would graze on her fields came to her to say, look, I'm leaving. There are some new Fulanis in the environment. I cannot coexist with them. And the man left with his family, somebody who had lived in the neighborhood well in excess of 20-30 years. He left with his family. And not long after, there was this new influx of Fulani people who wouldn't even hear any language and were never ready to discuss peace. Every little infraction turned into fights, and these ones were acting more like conquerors than neighbors. She abandoned her farm. This story is over 10 years old. I used to farm, and I had farms in Ijebubo. For those of you who are familiar with Ijebubo, I had farms in Telubomi and Abude, just behind Akote Farm Settlement. I had cocoa farms running into tens of acres. I was forced to abandon my farm over 10 years ago because of Fulani activities in the neighborhood. Over 10 years ago. The fact is that this has been an insidious conquest. It has happened with the complicity of the state. And because of the complicity of the state, a lot of us have been slow to admit to the fact that Nigeria is in the grip of an insurgency, ably supported by our government and the rulers of Nigeria. General Lawumi was on national TV, on channels, and he said on the record that since 2016, a list of sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria has been given to Buhari as the president. He said in that interview that the sponsors of terrorism included governors, persons in the cabinet of the president. Nothing ever happens to them. The UAE caught sponsors, financiers of terrorism in Nigeria, and they sent them to prison in the UAE. And then they sent a corresponding list of sponsors who are in Nigeria to the Nigerian government, over 300. Nothing ever happened to them. But the same government is always quick to jail 17-year-olds on trumped-up charges. The same government, the same system is always available to persecute those who might make the error of asking to be citizens. My friend, Dr. Calvin Stanley, told me daily basis, somebody is killed on the plateau. That 164 settlements on the plateau have been taken as conquered territory, resettled by Fulani marauders after the indigenous people have been driven off the land. A person told me how she gave up a mining license, or at least her interest in the mining license, when she found out that for her to be able to work the concession she was given, she would have had to be in bed with terrorists who are usually employed in the mining industry to drive out the indigenous people from the land holding the resources. And we still begin to ask, where are the cows? Dr. Kaufman told me that there is a base for Fulani terrorists in the tri-state area, Benue, I think it's between Benue, Nasarawa and Plateau, somewhere around that place, that there is a base. That this, and he said it on national TV as well, by the way, that this base is known to all of our security agencies. That helicopters land there to drop off ammunition and material. That the security forces are aware and they've done nothing about it. It is on record. It is on record, on public record, and we are still asking, where are the cows? In this last week, I came across the interview given by the old soldier, Brigadier Togun. Brigadier Togun. He was on Edmond Obilo's show, and he was talking about his experience as the Amotekun Corps commander in Oyo State. General Togun spoke of the difficulties and challenges that were placed on his path by those who were determined to ensure that he did not succeed as a corps commander. He spoke extensively, very extensively, about how he was prevented from recruiting certain classes of personnel, how he was frustrated and not given the material required. And then he spoke even more alarmingly of the multiple Fulani camps that are inside the forests of the Southwest. And then I remember Obadiah Malafia's word before he was murdered. He spoke extensively to pretty much the same thing. And then it now becomes important to ask ourselves some questions. Who are the cows? I believe that there are many cows in this sorry story. The victims have been treated as cows, or even worse, by those herding cows, slaughtered less reverently than they would have slaughtered cows. I see pictures coming out of buckles. I see multiple pictures coming out of the Middle Belt. I see the pictures coming out of Akure, coming out of Enugu, coming out from almost every part of this beleaguered land. Men and women, children, slaughtered less reverently than cows. So we, Nigerians, who have been denied citizenship, are the ones who have now been reduced to cows. We're treated like cows, as if we don't matter, like our lives count for nothing. What is the value of the Nigerian life if 16 persons said to be hunters in Uromi caused national outrage, rightly so, but the gruesome murder on a daily basis of more people has been normalized as though they are not humans? A state exists. Its president is on a vacation in France, even though working vacation in France, but the president of France is visiting Egypt. Make it make sense to me, because I don't understand these things, but in the country that the person governs or pretends to govern, people are being slaughtered with nary a reaction, and we are still asking, who are the cows? Apparently, the Nigerian is less than a cow in the eye of the Nigerian state. Much less than a cow. When they ask where are the cows, maybe we should begin to look in government houses for the cows, because even if you hate us so much, shouldn't you worry that the country you are pretending to govern has been turned over to foreign invaders who are brought in for political purpose? How long do you think cycle that you have energized is going to last before there is a blow up? Exactly how long do you reckon it's going to last? Everywhere you turn, people are being slaughtered. Truth is, I would like to say like cows, but the cows will appear to have privacy over human beings in the Nigeria that has been built under the watch of the APC. There is nobody else to blame for this. This is on the table of the APC. This is not just about Tinubu. It's not just Tinubu. It's the APC. Everyone, and when I say APC, a lot of those who are responsible for this have left APC today. They've gone back to their PDP or they've gone to the SDP like that short monkey from Kaduna. Where are they today? So essentially, this has been done with the sanction of the political class. Nigeria is under attack. Let's be clear. Let us be clear. This is a state-sponsored war of conquest against the Nigerian people by foreign Fulanis brought into this country by the APC. That is the gospel truth, the stubborn truth, and the sooner we all wrap our brains around this and begin to demand that the APC and the government, whether you are APC, whether you are PDP, it doesn't even matter. If you are in a position where you are meant to be the protector of the people because you are functionaries of the state, whose first duty is the protection of the people, it shouldn't matter where this threat is coming from, who brought it in. The reality is that Nigeria is in the grip of a war of conquest. The state is failing. It is failing horribly. At a time when the state is under attack by persons brought into the country by those who are governing the country today, the president is away on holiday. The director of the DSS is telling us that we are the ones who protect ourselves. Jackson, who fought back in self-defense because his life was in imminent threat, not just threat, he was already stabbed, overpowered his attacker and stabbed back, and our Supreme Court sentenced him to death. If that wasn't self-defense, what is? So, in a situation where the foreign invaders have been offered immunity and impunity, what is the lot of the Aborigines? Our forests are not they're not no man's land. Those are sacred forests. They belong to some people. They are lands belonging to people. When you brought foreign terrorists, people who had no land of their own, to come into our country, to come and take land, you become complicit in the multiple murders that have taken place in pursuit of their purpose. No wonder they were saying that we should ask our president what he agreed with them. Nigeria is under attack. There is no sugarcoating it. These are foreign Fulanis who are not aborigines to Nigeria, who sees Nigeria as their patrimony, and they have been brought into the country under the auspices of the APC and have been largely protected and supported by the same APC. Because how else do you explain where are the cows? Eventually, the cows were found because the killers of Antifunke just happened to be the Fulanis that the statement was meant to excuse. Where are the cows? The question should be, who are the cows? Who? Are we now cows, or are we being ruled by cows who fail to see what should be in their own enlightened selfish interest? I will live and I'll die. Tinubu will live and he'll die. All of us will live and someday we'll go, but what we have done will live beyond us. How can it be that those who have the sacred duty to protect the people are the ones who have become the enemies of the people, sponsoring all kind of terror against the people? And we are always asking, where are the cows? Let the government tell us if we have become as cows, or if they are the cows who are failing to see that they are failing in their duties. But when you are asking who the cows are, or where the cows are, also ask yourself, where is your brain in this imagined scenario? Are you able to see what is obvious, or you are still denying the obvious because of your ethno-religious or partisan interest? The truth is the truth, regardless of who believes or does not believe it. But the truth does not cure the willfully ignorant. I hope I have spoken to people who still have the capacity to think on their own and to draw inferences, logical inferences from the truthful facts that are in front of them.
We have a confession that the media has not given appropriate attention. Kawu Baraje Alhaji was a leading chieftain of the APC, and he has confessed that they imported the foreign mercenaries who have become bandits. He has confessed. How much more evidence do you need? He has confessed that they imported them for the elections. This is public. Why is the media not following up? Why are we not asking for accountability? So it seems very clear to me and to so many others. If you're in the public space, you hear people talking and pointing fingers. The ruling party is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria. My name is Martin Onovo. I said it. APC is the direct sponsor of insecurity and terrorism in Nigeria. Ask me for the evidence.
What are the facts?
Good. I just gave you confession of Kawu Baraje.
Okay.
That's number one. Number two, Miyetti Allah made a public statement that if you want peace in your state, don't call any meeting. Provide land for Fulanis in your state. Public statement. Miyetti Allah. Miyetti Allah is a collaborator with the ruling party. We had a report that the ruling party funded Miyetti Allah to the tune of 100 billion. I wasn't there when the payment was made, but that's in the public domain. We had an official report that the government of Nigeria was going to establish a radio station.
Exactly.
In collaboration with Miyetti Allah, where Fufude, the Fulani tribal dialect, will be the language of communication. Now, interestingly, you asked me for facts. We have it on the authority of the Ondo State government that the PRO of Miyetti Allah in Ondo State led the criminal suspect gang that killed Papa Sharanti's daughter. That is on the authority of the Ondo State government. And they have been arrested. And the leader of the gang is the PRO of Miyetti Allah in Ondo State. We have it on the authority of the Nigerian police that a headsman was arrested with a military rifle in Plateau State. I have the number of the rifle. I can send it to you by SMS. I just need to check my records. I have the rifle number. We have it on the authority of retired Colonel Nyam that the Fulani headsmen repelled in Ogoja were using Nigerian army rifles from the barracks in that vicinity, and that the soldiers came to collect the rifles back. Now, who is the commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces? Who should be responsible for the activities of these armed forces? We have it on the authority of General Danjuma. Danjuma has commanded these forces. We have it on the authority of General Danjuma that the armed forces are conniving with the bandits that are killing citizens. How much more evidence do you want? How much more evidence? We have hard physical evidence. We have testimonies from relevant authorities. How much more evidence do you want to know that the ruling party in Nigeria, the APC, is the sponsor of insecurity and terrorism? How much more evidence? I don't need any more evidence. I am 1000% convinced, and nobody has contrary evidence. The APC, the ruling party in Nigeria, is the direct sponsor of terrorism and insecurity in Nigeria.
That is damning. For the fact that the Nigerian government sponsored terrorism has finally been institutionalized under this Buhari's regime.
I forgot one point. The trial in Dubai. The trial in Dubai, where some Nigerians were convicted for terrorism financing in Nigeria. The published report said that they were traced to people high up in government. So how much more evidence do we need?
Let me quickly show you some of the headlines of what is happening in Nigeria today. This one says, residents threatened shutdown with Lagos APC government over solar tax following failure to provide reliable electricity supply. Residents threatens shutdown with Lagos APC government over solar tax. So the government of Lagos State is planning to start collecting tax for solar usage. They didn't give you electricity, you source for it, they want to collect tax. This one says, Kwankwaso threatens to leave NDC if his candidates are replaced as party insists on 60-40 formula. Kwankwaso is causing another wahala here. Can you imagine? Kwankwaso threatening to leave the NDC if his candidate. Sometimes these people don't even join party on the basis of they want to serve humanity. It must be your people, guys. Your people are supposed to be giving 40-60, waiting for this man soon. Okay. Instagram, how many times do you want to publish this news in 1 hour? Please look for something else. Okay. And then this one's a Peter Obi and his followers right now. And this one is saying, Abi, them no settle this one too because of why. So NDC through the quota at 60-40 at all parties duly signed in. No one should rewrite the pact. Coalition don't die from disagreement. All parties should honor the pact. Nigerian didn't sign up in NDC for another ego divorce. We sign up for change. You should choose the table. You should choose the table, not the tantrum. Okay, NDC through the quota at this, and all parties duly signed it. No one should rewrite the pact. Okay, 60-40. But what is he even asking for? What is he asking for? 60-40. Okay, guys, this one is another news again that is going to trend. NDC, okay, this person Kwankwaso joined the APC, rejected the sharing formula and then left. He later joined ADC, again rejected the sharing arrangement and departed. Now in NDC, he has once again opposed the sharing formula and threatened to leave. The sooner NDC clarifies that he does not control the north, the better. That he doesn't control the north. I swear, Kwankwaso will get Ujokoro pass me with the Bianima. So, guys, we don't know. This is another heavy blow on his personality. It shouldn't just be, I hope NDC comes down and get the job done first, except there's a mole who is causing upheaval to scatter the combo. Okay, I think something might be cooking or something fishy might be happening. Anyway, Peter Obi is somebody that things like this does not move because, like he has always said, he's not desperate to become the president. Now, this person say out of 100 persons that came to register and INEC, they've been able to register less than 10. Hey, this one is war, guys. Breaking news. Police parade suspect linked to the kidnap of foreign minister of power and her sons. You see, police is parading them. Guys, this one now, I hope they parade the Fulanis too, not only the Southerners. I want to see the Fulanis, their faces, guys. I want to see opportunities are behind insecurity in Nigeria. Oppositions are behind it. They are desperate to take power forcefully from Tinubu, self-appointed Abuja youth leader. He said his opposition. Can you imagine? Residents in the street of Ogbomosho, Oyo State, demand the release of the abducted children and teachers, guys. Not only God knows how those children are faring. How many days now in captivity? Unbelievable. These things that you are ignoring now because it's happening in other regions, it's coming to your doorstep with speed of light and nobody is going to save you. God win, guys. That is where we are in Nigeria. So, guys, let me know what you have to say about this. What do you have to say about Kwankwaso planning to leave because the quota was not shared accordingly, guys? A federal high court just declared that National Assembly 10 billion vehicles allowance and scheme is unlawful. 40 billion went to 465 bulletproof cars. 305 million each. 70 billion went to support allowances for lawmakers. The judge called it self-dealing, meaning the people who approve the money are the same people who benefit from it. But the budget was approved back in 2023. So the real question is who is going to collect the cars and the money back? Hey, guys, so they've even bought it already. Anyway, guys, let me know what you think in the comment section below. Thank you.